Welcome to What is a Brand, the podcast where I endeavor to bust the myth that branding is just a logo, some fonts, and a color palette. Because, spoiler alert, it's so much bigger than that. Because a brand isn't just what you see, it's what you feel. It's how you show up and the experience you create. Whether you're a business owner, a designer, or just brand curious, this podcast will help you think bigger, get clearer, and build a brand that works for you. Let's dive in and start answering that huge question. What is a brand? Hello and welcome back to What is a Brand, the 15-minute podcast episodes where I try to help you understand what a brand is and try to demystify this word that has become so complicated and so convoluted. So here we go. Today I'm going to share with you two stories about these two phenomenal women, independent of each other. They are so brilliant and so smart, and I can't wait to tell you about both of them. And putting them together is the perfect way to start to unravel the difference between a professional brand and a personal brand. I gave them each opposite advice about how to balance personal and professional, because that's what each of them needed for themselves. So without further ado, first person I'm going to tell you about is Sandy. Sandy is not her real name. When I am speaking about the emotional stuff happening inside of a brand, I use fake names because it's personal. When I do the visual brand design stuff, I will shout it to the rooftops because I am so stinking proud. But for today, we'll call her Sandy. Now, Sandy is an executive coach, and she is actually not an executive coach. She's a leadership coach, and she is just the smartest human being I think that has ever lived. And we had a great call today. We are working together on the next evolution of her visual and internal brand. And isn't that great? And something came up on the call. And she texted me after our call was complete, and she said, I'm so worried. I have this question swirling around in my brain, and it's making me nauseous, and I need guidance. And she asked me, should my business be my name? Should my brand be my name? Or should it be the business name that I have had for 10 years? Now, I had to sit and think about it, because what we talked about on the call was the bravery that it would take for her to show up as a human being inside of her business, which is interesting. I think I know a lot of us hide behind our business names. We, the beautiful, magical, miraculous human beings, the entrepreneurs inside of these businesses, we hide behind our business names. I spent 10 years hiding behind my business name. Hi, my name is Meg Joyce. I am a brand. I am the point. If you're coming to me, you're not coming for In-Kind Design, you're coming for Meg Joyce. So Sandy, facing a similar dilemma, wondering what she should do. Should she be the business? Should she be herself? And my answer to her was to think back on the call and to imagine what it would feel like to be herself inside of the business name, inside of the brand. I, for her, see so much value in the brand, the business brand existing for structure. She's speaking to big organizations, powerful people in big organizations. She's a leadership coach. She is incredibly accomplished. She's very smart. She needs to appear structured. Part of the beauty of her, part of the beauty of Sandy is that she is so free-spirited. She's not stodgy. She's not stuffy. She is going to kick you in the pants, and she's going to love on you, and she's going to inspire you to be your best self by being her best self. And her best self is a little bit sassy and a little bit playful. So what I told Sandy is be you. Be you by showing up in pictures on your website, by speaking in first person instead of leaning into we, instead of we at such and such company, it's me. I am the reason that you're here. She has this sassy line that says, who do we think we are? And I said, what if we change it to, who do I think I am? Because she is the point. Sandy is the point. Sandy is the reason people are showing up. The business brand provides safety and structure and comfort for big organizations who don't necessarily want to hire some random person. But she gets to still be playful. The business can be serious for her. And it can be sassy and fun on its own, in its own ways, but smaller. Yeah, let the brand be the structure. Let the brand do the heavy lifting where credibility is concerned. And then just be yourself inside of that. And let the business brand be the thing that you are pouring yourself into at the moment. She will be Sandy for her entire life. She will be this business for as long as she wants to be this business. So the answer is both. She is a personal brand inside of a professional brand. Now I'm going to move on and tell you about Laura, because Laura is the other woman on this episode, and I gave her opposite advice. She and I just had like a chit-chat call, which ended up turning into a brand breakthrough session, as these things do. So Laura has been more or less building a passion project for the last 3 years, and she loves it. It is passion for a reason. She is very driven and filled by this passion project, which is her podcast. It does not make her money. And that is a problem. She had said to me on our very first call ever, when we first met, she said that if she could just do the podcast and make enough money to survive, then she would do that, and that would be heaven. And then she has 2 websites with 2 different brands, and she does Reiki, and she does all of these things that I said to her outright. I said, are you going to do these things? And she said, if somebody hires me, I will. No, that's not how we grow a brand. We don't say yes just because people are willing to pay us money. We say yes because we want to do the thing, because it feels important, because it feels like it is building on the brand that is the point. And then she tells me that she's got a part-time job that she's really excited about starting, and it's going to turn into a full-time job. And we've been talking about how to set up her services and her structures and her business, and none of it makes sense. None of it makes sense. Because what is the point of building a business, a job, a full-time job for yourself, if you're going to go out and get another full-time job? That's not why we do this. That's not why entrepreneurs start businesses. We start businesses because we want to be in business. What Laura wants is to be a person. She wants to be a thought leader. She wants to be recognized and helpful. That's the biggest thing, is she wants to help. She is a menopause coach. She knows about the biggest struggles that women will go through possibly in their entire lives. The darkest moments that women will go through possibly in their entire lives. And she wants to help. So don't worry. Don't worry about services. Don't worry about structure. Don't worry about building a business that is going to take your time to build and to market and to network for the business. Just be a human being. Just be a person. Just be a personal brand. and keep the podcast, live into the podcast, feel passionate about the podcast, and use that as an opportunity to go find speaking engagements and to lead group programs that don't interfere with the full-time job that you're leading into. You do get to have it all. You do get to have it all. You can have, when you are driven by passion and joy and not fear of lacking and not having enough, you do get to have it all. And you get to choose what all is. So Laura wants to have this very fun, very happy job that will pay her consistently and be the kind of thing that she can do for the rest of her career if she wants. It's not a pressure-filled thing. It's not a big growth kind of thing. It's a job where she gets to exist and be happy. And then she also gets to develop her personal brand, where she gets to go all over the world helping women. And isn't that fabulous? Understand that Sandy and Laura are not that different from each other. They both are brilliant human beings with incredible magic inside of them. They exude light and energy, and you get drawn in by their magnetism. And they get to choose how the balance of a personal brand and a professional brand exists for them. For Laura, she wants the freedom to be a personal brand and to go where she wants to go and be what she wants to be. Sandy finds that same kind of freedom by letting the business be serious for her so that she can have fun inside of that. Both of them get to step up and be themselves and make choices for themselves and their own happiness inside of that balance of personal and professional brand. So how about you? How about you? What is your balance? Are you a professional brand? Are you a personal brand? Are you a human being that exists inside of a professional brand? What is the balance? Where are you? Do you even show up inside of your brand? Do you live in we and our? Do you pretend that you have a team of people because it makes you feel like you're more relevant and people will not look down on you because you have this imaginary team of people that works underneath you? Because I did that for a really long time. And then a friend and colleague said, why can't you just be you? Why do you have to pretend that you have teams of people? Why can't you just be important? Why can't you be the reason that people are hiring you for your services? So now my website says I. My website is written by me, more or less. But I am the purpose. I am the purpose of my brand. People come to me for me. If you're coming to In-Kind Design, you're coming for Meg Joyce. If you're coming to In-Kind Design, you're coming because you like me. And I love it that way. It makes me happy. It makes me feel like I can show up and I can talk. And I can have a podcast and I can share my language and my knowledge and all of these things that feel really important to me and I know are really important for the people on the other side of this podcast screen. So how about you? How comfortable do you feel inside of your brand, and what decisions are you making based on fear that people will not think that you're good enough to be the point? What decisions are you making based on fear because you think you have to be a personal brand? You have to be the name, when maybe you could have some more freedom by not being the name. However you want to show up in your business that will make you the most happy. That's the answer. And if you're having a hard time finding that answer? Finding what makes you happy? Let me know. Mention something in the comments. DM me. Visit inkind-design.com. Whatever it is, sign up for a brand breakthrough session. They are awesome. And know that I am here. I am here inside of InKind Design. I am the human heartbeat inside of my business. My name is Meg Joyce, and I'm proud of you, and I love you.